Vulnerability is just sharing something with whatever your particular audience is. It's something that your audience could stand in judgment of you. And you're taking a chance that your audience will be receptive to what you're saying. So you're choosing to be vulnerable. And sometimes you mischoose and your audience throws it back in your face. But that's all vulnerability is. I'm trusting. That's why you develop your spirit of discernment and your intuition. Because then you know who and where to be vulnerable. And you need to get so rooted in yourself that even if you did choose wrong, oh well, it's out there. Whew. You don't have to keep that secret anymore. You know, who cares if it gets out? And, like, your mama probably taught you, don't ever say something that you can't afford to be repeated. Trust no one. You can't even keep your own secret. What do you think somebody whose secret it isn't can do with your secret? Yeah, they won't tell their business because I don't want you to know my business, but I'll tell you everybody else's because I have to have something to talk about. Like, I can't be silent. Gotta say something. Ooh, let me tell you about so-and-so.
Keisha and more.
Yeah. And betrayal is so commonplace that we would rather have the blowback of betrayal because we let everybody who betrays us back in. So I would rather, we do. Not me. I'm done with that, but.
Yeah, but we should get some ice cream on the way home.
I'm gonna get ice cream now.
That's what I said. Let's get some more. You do? Okay.
You
guys good?
Chips.
Can I get the beer?
Yes, we are good.
Lager.
Uh-oh. You gotta slow down when you're moving. Pay attention. Are you gonna make any attempt to clean it up, Peyton? Or are you just gonna...
You gonna make me clean it?
Oh, I'm in a mess, lady.
Pay attention. Remember, you gotta control it. That's what makes it a tool. I think you could just leave it in, put it in this bowl. But thank you.
It's not kids.
How many did you have, though?
One.
How did everybody have one, though?
Well, how many were in there?
Like 10?
She's getting down to who ate the pineapple.
I'm just asking.
All right, y'all, story time with a little lesson, because you already know how Lonnie gets down. And apparently Lonnie talks about herself in third person. Moving on. My son is in Gary, Indiana for training, and someone stole his AirPods. He was going to go up to the person and say, yo, can I get my AirPods up out you? And his cousin was like, I'm happy you didn't do that, because, baby, you are not in Arizona. Fast forward to later on that day, and I'm watching Man in Full on Netflix. Pretty decent. Check it out. And there is a scene where the man is in prison jail. He locked up. I don't know the difference, but anyway, he locked up, and he in a prison jail space with a bunch of motherfuckers who don't act like regular people anymore. Apparently there is prison mentality, and he is in there with regular people mentality with a bunch of people with prison mentality. I personally missed the scene, but apparently there is a scene where he looked out for somebody, and apparently you're not supposed to look out for people in jail. So everybody's trying to get in his ass because, ooh, they trying to get in his ass, no diddy, but, you know, they trying to beat him up because, you know, he helped somebody. And they were like, that Good Samaritan stuff don't play its way up in prison, maybe jail. But then I made the parallel to when my son called and he was like, you know, I was going to go ask old boy, can I get my AirPods back? And my cousin was like, yeah, you can't do that. You ain't in Arizona. It just made me think, how many of us are walking around day to day, free as a bird, but we have prison mentality? Some of y'all ain't even seen the inside of a jail cell, but out here living life like you do in a full-time bed. It's the traps you don't see for me.
Well, I'm so thankful, grateful, and blessed for the sister circle because you can have friends and things like that, but to have a sister circle of community of not only spirituality, but of wisdom and laughter and joy and tears, and we ain't talking about the ugly tears, we're talking about tears of joy, and it just feels good. And I just pray that y'all join up if, you know, you want to evolve and grow and have this sweetness of life in sisterhood.
Amen.
I second that.
Do you have any, you know, what would your sister circle experience?
Oh, it was wonderful. Yeah, I crave community, you know, like in-person community. So anytime that Lonnie puts something together, I'm there, period.
Period. And
Yeah.
it's worth it. It's not just
It's
loyalty
definitely-
to me. It's
No,
just
no,
like,
to
yo.
community building, to
Yes.
healing, to growing, expanding, teaching, learning. Yeah,
And knowing-
I love it. And creating.
Amen. And now that I know
New
you
life
have
in
that,
a sense, you know? Yeah, I love it.
now that I know that you have that desire, I will definitely be doing more.
I should.
Bailey, your sister circle, I know you're here because
Right? By
you're here.
obligation, guys. No.
I'm here because I have to.
Right. Hey. No, it's actually fun talking to older adults, you know, getting a better perspective. If I'm being honest, like, the kids around my age, they just talk in circles, I'll say. And it's just nice to get a new perspective and also know that I have more trust in the people I'm talking to, the more I'm able to connect every time I come back.
Yeah, and just be transparent.
Yeah, because there's like, I mean, at first I probably would have been kind of scared to like tell people, like the earlier how I said I don't want to hang out with this person, and it's like I feel like if I tell other people information of how I deal with other people, they'll look at me in a certain way of how I treat them, you know,
Mm-hmm.
instead of hearing me out and seeing that I have an issue and talking to me about it, you know.
In a specific area, everybody is all inclusive. Like, that must be how they handle me.
Right?
No, this is just this.
Right? Like hey.
That's
So I mean,
beautiful.
just for an example, it's nice to have someone to reflect off of.
Have a safe space.
Exactly.
Yes, I love it.